Welcome, welcome. Where's everybody joining us from today?
Okay, let us know in the chat. Yes.
Yeah. So welcome, welcome everyone. We'll just give a couple of seconds for people to join. Hi, Helen. Welcome as well. And there's hola, Giselle.
Hola, hola.
Hello, welcome. Super excited to have you on. Super happy to see you, Olga, as well. Amazing.
Check my camera. Always
Really great. So from Sweden, beautiful Naples, Florida. Welcome, welcome. Beautiful. So yeah, we're so excited to have you guys here today. And Olga and myself have these wonderful conversations and we go super deep on topics. And we thought, well, hey, why not? Let's open this up to all you wonderful people as well. And we're going to be discussing our favorite morning routine habits, sleep hacks, and what's super important, of course, is relationships as well. So Olga, do you want to kick off? Hi, Mariana, welcome.
Hi, Mariana, welcome. Yes, hi, everybody. My name is Olga Kaplan. I'm health and relationship coach, and I'm passionate about supporting women to live life in joy, health, pleasure, and have this life force energy vibrating through them. And I have my personal story where it wasn't like this at some point in my life, and I was struggling with eating disorders, and I was in an abusive marriage, and I had to overcome a lot of things, and I had to figure out a lot of things. And this is what I realized, that the most important things like health and relationships, we actually not getting much education about, right? It's like we're supposed to live and be healthy and have the relationships, and we are not being taught at school.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that made me even more passionate to share the knowledge, to share the expertise, to share, so women have the shortcuts, so they don't have to spend 20 years figuring it out. So
Exactly.
That's my why. Tell us about yours.
So amazing. So some of you will know, some of you who don't know me yet, I'm Claudia von Boeselager. I'm a peak performance coach, and I'm super passionate about helping people really live at their best in different aspects of their life, also including health and health optimization. And, serial entrepreneur background, and then I think it was really when accumulation of events happened, not unsimilar to you, Olga, with, toxic relationship that was impacting my health. And I just, for me, and I think this is a typical sort of female thing, as long as everyone else is okay, then, it doesn't really matter how I am. And I think only when things really, they need to kind of explode, if you will. And for me, it was one day when, beautiful day. So normally I should be full of energy. And I was climbing the stairs, mid-30s, and I could hardly put one foot in front of another. I felt like it was climbing Mount Everest. And I just thought, what type of life is this? I'm mid-30s. I've got businesses to run. I've got small kids to take care of, a super busy schedule. What is the next 20, 30, 40 years going to be like? And that was for me just this click moment where my high energy 20s, where I got little sleep at night, were long gone. And I just thought, I don't want my life to be like this. I want to be like the Studio 54 grandmother out partying at night. And if I'm already like this at 35, this is just a complete disaster, right? So from there, I just went on this incredible journey of speaking with the world's leading pioneers and thought leaders to figure out what are the best strategies and tools just to live at our best. And I'm so passionate about sharing that now as well, just as you are, Olga.
Yeah, so good. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And I know we can pick your brain because you have so much to share.
Well, same here.
So let's start with morning routines. Why are they like, I want to hear from you. Like, why is it such an important thing?
So, okay. So, sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go back.
No. That's it. Like, why it's so important, and what is your takeaway from establishing your own morning routines? Like, how does it enhance your life? How does it support your longevity, your vitality? Mm-hmm. Like, how does it make you that future Studio 54 dancing queen?
So there's a few different things with it as well, but as also coming from sort of a tech area, I love to just sort of think once and then roll it out from there. And there is a concept which I find fascinating called decision fatigue. So why not just figure out once a beautiful morning routine to start your day, to win the day every day, and just think about it once, and just then you just wake up in the morning and you continue to do it then each day as well. So, I think from a why perspective is like, you don't want to have to over engineer or overthink. And especially if you didn't get, the best sleep the night before, you just have your beautiful morning routine. It sets you up to win the day every day. And through my podcast, the Longevity and Lifestyle podcast, I speak to some of the top performers in the world who all have some sort of morning routine practice. It's just super clear that if you want to be at your best and thrive, which each and every one of you really, really should, because we're all here for a purpose and all here to do amazing things, figure out what that ideal morning routine is for you. And obviously there's a spectrum and everyone will be a little bit different. And I tell my clients as well, focus on things that really bring you joy, that make you happy. And, I'm happy to share mine. Some might think it's a bit crazy. I know people who are a lot more hardcore than me, so it depends on the person. But, I like to get up early before I've got 2 kids, right? So I like to get up before the kids and, to start my day with a moment of gratitude, right? And it's not just like, oh, I'm grateful for being alive, right? It's that real gratitude that you really feel from your heart, right? So you're in sort of deep presence with it as well. Ideally, if the sun is shining, it's really beautiful to just have the sun on your face and just be present, right? This like beautiful thing. And I'm definitely a cerebral person. My mind goes 1,000 miles a minute. I try to speak slower, but just a presence with that. And then overhydrating your body, right? So water with fresh lemon in it, ideally 2 glasses. And then for me, works really well to just do even a short workout, right? So I have a Peloton bike during COVID that was real help, or run around the block, whatever it is as well, just to get moving straight first thing in the morning, followed by doing my morning priming. So that's really where I connect in with myself. It's a mixture of sort of qigong, some tapping, meditation, breath work, and also just going through sort of the choices that I make for myself and visualization of the day ahead. Followed by a shower, which depending on how brave I'm feeling that day, will have a cold element to it. Sometimes for longer periods of time, sometimes shorter. And then, I get myself ready. If I have time, I try to journal, but in the mornings it's a little tricky, and get the kids and I'm totally present with them as well. So if I start my day, and I try to do it really most of the time, it's just a total game changer. But how about you, Olga? How do you do your morning? What do you do for your morning routine?
Great. First of all, thanks for sharing. I like there's so much richness in your morning. Yes, thank you. And also mine looks very similar. And yet before I go into my details, I would like to preface it with the way I see the morning. Morning, like when you wake up, you are this beautiful blank page, like blank canvas. And possibilities are endless. Like anything can be painted, anything can be written, anything can be created. So this is a very beautiful and vulnerable place. And there, if you wake up and you reach for your phone and you go into digesting news, your morning is hijacked, your day is hijacked, and you can say goodbye to all your intentions, because brain can only have like 7 pieces of information there at the same time. So all those precious pieces of information, all these like slots, they're already taken. And usually news is not good news, right? So usually it's something dramatic, something not pleasant. So therefore, when I religiously do it with myself, and I also, when I work with my clients, I tell them, you get to be the author. Like when you wake up, you gotta take authorship of your day. And this is where your morning routine is something that you rely on. And you are so right. Like this is not overcomplicated. This is something that's already automated. It's a habit, and you don't need to think twice about it. So for me, it's waking up, drinking water with lemon, also meditating, journaling, and moving my body. Absolutely essential, at least 10 minutes. And my recommendation for everybody, like have some kind of exercises, some kind of even dancing or something that you can do anywhere. You can do like when you travel, and you can do on vacation. And this way my body is primed for the day. This way my body is alive, and I reconnected with my body before I even connected to my brain, or before I digested anything into my head. So, and also, I love this saying that the best morning routine starts the night before with a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
So yes, good night's sleep. And then also the sleep routine starts in the morning. And you mentioned that you go outside, you meet the sun, and this is when the melatonin production kicks in. So it's so important for me, like either I walk my dog or just go outside by myself to greet the sun, to have this energy.
Yeah, nothing like a walk in nature, right? I mean, ideally, I live in a city, right? So I shouldn't really be walking barefoot on the street. But if if you have the opportunity, really, to clients and friends as well, just having your feet, like just that grounding, there is an energy that comes from nature. So even if you're in the park, even just find a patch of grass and walk around with barefoot, and just really connect with nature. And again, it's that presencing as well, because how often it's terrible if you go on, like a bus or the subway or something nowadays, everyone is staring at a screen, right? And we're so disconnected, and we forget to actually just to be, right? To actually think and to sit with ourselves, and just to take that time to sort of reconnect as well. Like that level of happiness, the goes up exponentially, and the stress levels also decrease as well. So I agree, connecting with nature is such a powerful strategy as well.
Yes, yes. And thank you for reminding grounding that's a name for it. When you connect, when I say like you kiss the ground with your feet, and the earth is kissing your feet at the same time. So this is grounding, and it has, even scientifically, it has like multiple positive effects on your body, on your vibration, on your well-being. So yes, very important practice. Thank you.
Super exciting. And Olga, let's talk about sleep and some sleep hacks. What are some of your favorite sleep hacks?
Sleep hacks. So important to get out of overstimulation, like a couple of hours before bedtime.
Yeah.
And even before that, I would always say how you set up your bedroom is how your life is gonna unfold.
So walk people through that, Olga. Like, how do you set it? Like from a feng shui perspective, like the energetic flow, or which way do you mean?
Energetic flow, yes. So important your bedroom to be a space of refuge, of relaxation, of recharge, of love making, right? Of connection. So no TV. That's a very strict rule.
No. Yeah.
No TV in the bedroom, no clutter, no technology, nothing. Plants, soft fabrics, everything that makes you like feel welcomed into this galaxy of sleep. Because it's very precious, and we go and travel into other dimensions when we sleep. And this is your recharge station, and it gets to be set up in the most pleasant, welcoming, beautiful, and relaxing way. Maybe some white noise machine creates this ambiance. Maybe a small speaker so you can play some relaxing music. So very important. No clutter under the bed. Don't make it this space under the bed. Don't make it a storage, because the energy needs to flow freely. That's very important. This is from Feng Shui perspective. And make it a place like your cave. You go in there, and the world can stop, and you recharge your batteries. So very important. And
that's beautiful.
Yes, and start slowing down. No overstimulation, no crazy movies, no heavy food. So really make like 2-3 hours before bedtime, make it about unwinding, connecting, relaxing, maybe like snuggling, or making it separate from your busy day. Like you go out into the world, and the world is very intense, and it's wonderful. And when you're at home, and especially as you go into this preparation to go to sleep, like get into this mood, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So this wind down mode as well, right? I love to think of it almost like a cocoon as well. So, and I think also what's really important and what was also a game changer for me in terms of sleep was not to think like, for me, it would be like work to the point of exhaustion in my silly 20s, right? And then you go to sleep totally exhausted and like overdone. And instead, it's almost like placing value back on yourself and valuing your time and your regeneration, because so much happens when we sleep. I mean, it's literally like there's a washing machine in the brain that's detoxing it and all over your body. Anyone wanting to look younger, get better sleep and you will automatically look younger. This is why when we go on vacation, so many people come back like, oh, you look so rested, you look younger, etc., because people have slept well and the body's had a chance to actually rejuvenate versus this sort of haggard, exhausted, overworked look, right? And so I think it's that, as you were saying as well, the winding down period is super important as well. You know, so many people are on laptops, etc. There are really, really great, easy ways to change also just the lighting, right? So not to have that blue light exposure, because that's similar. Your brain sees that as daylight, right? So the sunlight, and it will stimulate your brain overnight. And instead, you can have, there's a free app you can download for your computer, f.lux, which triggers automatically when the sun goes down in your location, this beautiful warm light. So being really, really wary of screens, obviously no television in the bedroom. Also things that help some people, I've some clients as well that really struggle, is like a warm bath. There's Epsom salt baths as well. I'm also very light sensitive, so just really having blackout curtains if you're light sensitive as well. I love what you said about the like white noise or pink noise as well. There's different people at like different frequencies. And just make it like this beautiful serenity, you know, place of serenity, right? So you go there to relax and calm and rejuvenate as well. And what you were saying before with the news, I mean, like one of the worst things you can do directly before bed is to go to social media or watch the news, right? So when you know, they say that the old expression, if it bleeds, it leads. So the media is there to like trigger you and astound you, and it's not going to be very purposeful to sleeping. And I think another challenge that some people have is the room temperature, and typically it should be colder, right, as well. And some couples will say, well, you know, my partner, my female partner is always cold, and you know, vice versa, the men are to front, and you know, everybody's a little bit different. But there are actually these really cool mattress covers that you can get, so that will actually warm up on one side and it will cool the other as well. So there are really great sort of biohacks, if you will, that people can use to get a really, really good night's sleep. And with anything, I feel like just literally set yourself up to win. Just be like, okay, I'm going to do this as a pilot, as a test for 7 days or whatever it is, or 3 days, whatever you can do. And really just do it 100% and just notice the difference. It's such a game changer that as soon as you become addicted to this beautiful feeling of like well rested. And if you're well rested, well, what's the benefit? You're more creative, you're more intuitive, you're in a better mood. You're in a better mood. The people around you are in a better mood. Like you just live a different quality of life. And trust me, I've learned the hard way of being exhausted and cranky and grumpy all the time. So really prioritizing sleep is something really great as well. And Olga, I'd love to move on to relationships, right? So this is an area also of your particular expertise. Can you talk about relationships, the importance of relationships? Let's jump into that.
Thank you. So every area of our lives is impacting us, right? Impacting our health. Most importantly, like there is a saying, if you have your health, you have 1,000 dreams. If you don't have your health, you have one dream.
Yeah.
So, and this is so true. So mostly and most and foremost, our health is the thing to put the focus on.
Yeah.
And if it works, then everything else is possible. So, and what I discovered when I mentioned I was struggling with an eating disorder and I was in a toxic relationship. And then when I got into the integrated nutrition school, this concept of primary foods that really blew my mind, and it made so much sense. Primary food is not the actual food. So primary food is your relationships. And the container of your relationship, either it's going to contribute to your health or it's going to contribute to your illness or disease. And I remember when I was in that abusive marriage, I was constantly sick. And sometimes I was even sick, and doctors didn't really understand what was going on. And now that all of this is behind me, I rarely even get any cold or anything. My immune system is completely different.
It's amazing. It's almost like, you know, a toxic relationship is almost like an inflammation trigger in the body.
Yes.
So your baseline of immunity just completely dissolves because you're constant in this fight or flight mode, right? Your adrenals are maxed out, etc. So I think, you know, just looking at that in general is so important. And even just looking at, you know, relationships, because we as humans, we evolve and we grow. And we might have friends from like childhood that we realize, you know, I've had conversations with some friends as well. They're like, you know, I have a friend and she just calls me and complains for an hour. They're like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't even have an hour to give, and what, you know, I can't deal with it so well. And it's really to reassess kind of where you are, what your values are at this moment in time. And to think about, you know, what type of people do you want around you, right? I mean, they say that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? And so if you have a lot of toxic or difficult people, it can either be a love relationship, but also friendships as well, right? So, you know, it's really important to look at surrounding yourself with people who raise up your spirits and really allow you to thrive for who you are. And then, you know, for people wanting to live really well, one of the most interesting studies and the longest running study by Harvard Medical School, which started in 1938, right? And it's still running, astoundingly. And they were looking to find out, you know, what is the secret to people living really well in older age and have happiness in older age as well. And, you know, what do you think, Olga, was there was the summary of the study? What came out of the study? What do you think?
It's connection, it's relationships.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And you nailed it. Sorry, I'm like, I just want to bring it forth. You nailed it when you said when the relationship is not working, when you're constant state of stress, it creates inflammation in your body, in your system. And this is how you get sick from this kind of relationship. You're so right.
Exactly. And what I'm learning more and more and tuning into as much as possible is the wisdom of the body. You know, I think we always think our mind and our brain knows everything, etc. But actually your body's telling you things that you don't even know. So when you're starting to get sick because of a relationship or whatever it may be, or an environment that is, you know, toxic, maybe you're in a house that has mold in it that you've been ignoring, which is super toxic, but people kind of brush it under the carpet, if you will. It's your body trying to tell you, you know, pay attention. There's something going on here that's just not good for you. And I think the more we're able to tune into that, the better. And so I think that that's a really, really powerful tool as well. And also in relationships, you know, and just to really, it's okay to, obviously everyone and friends have struggles and issues, but in general, you want to have a net positive relationships as well. And you know, be kind to yourself, prioritize those relationships, and don't put you through relationships that, you know, bring you down and make you struggle, or at least try to resolve them and to find ways to bring you up as well. So, yeah, I think that life is good when you have good relationships, right?
Yes. And with any relationship, like imagine, be curious. First of all, know yourself, know your body, and be in touch with your body. And your body is always telling you something. Either you, like I usually like to ask people how the other person makes you feel. How do you feel around them? So that's a good indication, like what's really going on, what kind of dynamic this relationship is having. And also be curious because usually in any relationship, romantic relationship or friendships, two people are coming from their baggage, right, from the past, from their like triggers, and from like so many things, like they had different experiences in the past. So be present in here and now, and see what's really happening. If your trigger is connected to the past, is it your baggage speaking? Is it something to get curious there? And also, this is a very important thing, like you said before, people are calling and trying to complain, and like you have no time for yourself and for your kids, and like, oh, you don't have an hour to listen to that. And I say this, make agreements. Make agreements with people so you know your boundaries are clear and your agreements are clear. Hi, I would love to support you, so let's agree. If you need to vent it out, okay, I'm giving you time, I'm gonna hold space for you, because this is like you're going through something. But if you're going to do this constantly like a perpetual complaint machine, I'm not gonna tolerate that. Let's Do you want me just to listen? Do you want me to give advice? Like, how do you want me to support you? And make no tolerance for this. It's almost like it's sucking the energy out of you. Like when people are complaining, when people are coming with this negative outlook on everything, because what's wrong is always available, and so is what's right. So just by shifting the focus, we are able to shift and see the perspective and see the possibility. So it's not about being like problem avoiding, it's about being problem solving, right? So making this intentional and making those kind of agreements and being honest and being authentic. And if somebody doesn't like your authenticity, if somebody doesn't like your honesty, and they are not open to that, so maybe that's also a sign not to invest in those relationships. And what I noticed with me and also with my clients, as we evolve and as we get committed to this personal growth journey and healing our bodies and healing our minds and healing our past, some people just fall off. And it's okay, we still love them, and they like it's like the vibration. They are vibrating in their like vibrational field, and I'm vibrating in my vibrational field. And when the vibrations match, then we are able to meet again, if ever. So accepting that, and also communicating your boundaries, needs, desires, be open and honest, and know how to decipher your body's signals. And this is why like meditation and body practices and moving your body, this is so important to train yourself to be in touch with your body.
Completely. And I you know, the old wisdom of know thyself. And I think that all starts with, you know, 80-90% inner work. I mean, the last time you and I were having a conversation, we were discussing this as well, that so many people are looking for strategies and tools and everything external, but they don't do the inner work. And, you know, yes, we all have our dramas and stories and things that we bring with us. But as soon as we learn the tools and strategies to clear that inner work, then we're not dragging, if you will, the baggage into the next relationships and to our way of life as well. So I think it's so important for people to feel empowered and the ability to actually take control of their life and their health and their relationship back into their own hands, and know themselves, know what they want, know what's okay, what's not okay, and communicate that as well. And so, you know, I'm learned from past mistakes. I used to be an overgiver and like, oh, everything's no problem, etc. And I realized like I'm juggling 2,000 balls in the air at the same time, and like, what am I doing? I can't manage. But somehow it will be okay. And it's, you know, finding that balance, knowing yourself, protecting that sort of self-care time as well. But also that communication, as you said as well, Olga, which I think is just so powerful and so important as well. And what comes up short, I think, a lot of the time as well, we kind of assume everyone is psychic and understands what we need and what we think. But, you know, name somebody who has found somebody else who knows exactly what they need and want. I haven't found them yet. So
no.
Yeah.
No, thank you for, yes, communication, not expecting anybody to read your mind. And it's your responsibility to communicate your needs. And also another thing, be the role model, like taking care of yourself. And what you mentioned before, it's like this overgiver. Usually women, we love to like take care of everybody, and then when we have a moment to breathe, we don't even know where to start.
Yeah, exactly.
Be this, even like if you're a pioneer in this way, I'm gonna take care of myself, and I'm gonna support you by
Mhm.
asking you and inviting you and giving you permission to do the same. Even when I work with corporate clients, if you can start the meeting by, how did you take care of yourself today? Now it's like going straight to like, okay, this is the agenda, this is what we're gonna discuss, the budget, like all of it. It's connection. We are
Mhm.
humans, we are not robots,
Mhm.
and we are human bodies.
Mhm.
And it's important to give this grace to yourself and
Mhm.
to everybody around you,
Mhm.
and invite them into the same conversation about self-care.
Yeah, it's super important. And I love the analogy, like they tell you on the airplane, put your oxygen mask on first. And if your cup is empty, how are you supposed to give from there? And the type of person who's able to give from an empty cup is not exactly the one who's able to serve at the highest level. So instead, make sure that you build into your routines and your weekly daily practices that self-care time, so you can actually be at your best and then give from there. You can already feel the difference of like someone who's like exhausted and sort of hanging and like, okay, let me see if I can help you, versus we got this, we're in this as a team and we can do it. And I'm happy to help, and I've got full of energy and ideas as well. So I think that self-care component is super, super important for all the topics we've touched on today, and prioritizing that as well.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
Amazing. Oh, this was
Okay.
so great, Olga. I'm worried that if anyone has any questions,
Yeah.
feel free to post them as well, or you're more than welcome to DM us at a later time. If you're from my audience, please follow Olga Kaplan Coaching to find out more what Olga's doing and all her amazing work as well. And let us know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we'll have to reconnect again soon, Olga. Thank you so much.
Yes, and for my audience, and hold on before we jump off, for my audience also, please follow Claudia, follow Longevity and Lifestyle. Claudia has amazing podcast. Go listen to her podcast, subscribe, leave a review, and
Thank
it's
you.
really brilliant, and I enjoy it so much. And Claudia, before we jump off, I would like to hear from you. You said you have an offer,
Yes,
an
exactly.
invitation.
So
Please share.
um, I know, I think especially where the world is right now, I think that everyone is a little bit ungrounded and trying to find their feet as well. And I think now is especially the time that people really need to or deserve to be at their best. And what are the, key tools and strategies to do so? So I'm hosting next week on Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. That's 8:30 p.m. in the UK. I'm going to be sharing one of my secrets that I've learned to help optimize your life. So if you follow me on Instagram, I'll be sharing more details there as well, and you can sign up to join the free training next week on Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. And how about you, Olga? I think you have something to offer as well.
Yes, thank you. I also, next Wednesday, I have a free workshop coming up, and there is a link in bio to sign up. It's called From Fried to Freedom: 5 Lifestyle Hacks for Busy Women. Let's do it. Let's meet there and let's learn those hacks so life could be full of joy and connection and happiness.
Amazing.
Sign up and
Wonderful.
follow us both. Please
Yeah.
explore our invitations, our offers. There's so much to learn, and we are very generous in sharing information. And
And we're
we're
here
here
to
to
serve
support
as well. Yeah. So we
you.
want